Hey everybody, what's going on? Helmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. Today's topic is going to be covering something that I hope you guys find applicable in your ranked games, and that is stopping the bleeding. And we've all been in these kinds of games where you give up first blood and all your lanes are losing and the jungler's nowhere to be found and basically things are terrible. And oftentimes people will automatically start saying GG, and you might even be thinking to yourself, I've never come back from these situations. How is it possible for us to win this game? And the key to this is a concept I like to call stopping the bleeding. So stop doing things that are costing yourself and your team gold and experience and resources. So number one of this is that don't give up just because you're behind early. League of Legends is a long game, and unless your opponents are actively pressuring in to try and close out the game early, you have time. And this is often the case because enemy teams will get cocky, they will get confident, they will think to themselves, this game's in the bag, and they will take their time. And the more time the winning team gives the losing team, the more opportunity there is for the losing team to come back into the game. And this is because of the nature of how League of Legends works. If the game goes on for 50, 45 minutes, everyone is going to reach full build, everyone is going to be level 18, and at that point, the power levels are even. It doesn't matter that their Yasuo was 7-0 during lane phase, because at this point, he's got the same item sets that everybody else does. In fact, he just got there quicker. So late games always favor the team that lost early, because the longer you stall out, the better your chances are. Now, there are caveats to this. I'm simplifying a lot of things. Obviously, if the losing team doesn't, has a lot of early game champions like Renekton, you may not have a chance of coming back. But the point still stands. You give yourself a better chance by stalling out a game that you're losing early. And so this kind of leads to what I'm calling stopping the bleeding. And these are different things that you can do and think about in your game that'll help you come back. And number one is just don't pick fights. If you give up the first couple kills to the enemy laner, you have to realize you're at a massive disadvantage now. If I give up first blood to this Malzahar, for example, which I ended up doing, now I have to be thinking about this lane. Malzahar's ahead of me in experience because he got kill gold, and because he got more minions than I did because I died. He also has more gold than me because he got the first blood gold, plus he got more minion gold than me. So Malzahar will come back into lane stronger than me. Even if we started the lane at an advantage, which I think I did in this matchup, now Malzahar is better because he has more items. He is straight up stronger than me now, or he's even the odds, at which point I need to be playing super safe. A lot of times people will give up kills early on in lane. They'll give up the first kill in lane, and they'll think to themselves, I died, but I can go and kill this guy and get it back. The problem is, you're trying to do this at a disadvantage. It's fighting an uphill battle at this point. You're not evenly matched because the enemy champion has golden experience on you. And so frequently, they'll give up the second kill right there, and then it just snowballs from there. The key is to not pick the fights that are going to cause you to do this. Once you fall behind, start playing defensively. Realize you're behind now, and just get CS where you can. The other thing you can always do is just look outside of your lane. Instead of continually butting your head against your enemy lane opponent, if you know he's just going to dive you under your tower and kill you, don't stay under tower. Leave your lane, go help other lanes, because if you can snowball another lane, like your bottom or top lane, for example, you still have a good chance of winning the game. The second thing is to just do the basics well. Just focus on last hitting, just focus on getting wards. Because if you could do that, the wards will catch enemy team members making risky rotations, probably through your jungle, which will help you maybe get a pick, maybe get back into the game. And just getting CS is a good way. You don't have to get kills to get gold. I died early to the Malzahar, but I had a CS lead, and this kept me somewhat in the lane because I had about 20 CS on him. And that was almost equivalent to the kill he got. So just last hitting, and especially if your opponent's ahead, they'll miss a lot of CS because they're trying to play aggressively and bully you and trying to get another kill out of you. All you have to do is play defensively, get CS, and you will likely start out CSing your lane opponent. The other thing to worry about is knowing what you can contest. Now, obviously, if there's an Infernal Drake, you really want to go for those, but you can't contest it always. If your team is 8 kills back on the enemy team, and their jungler outlevels your jungler, you can't get that dragon even if you want, because all their jungler has to do is flash the wall, they guaranteed outsmite your jungler, and then all you've done is leash the dragon for them. The other thing is, if they're actively doing dragon, you don't have a prayer at stealing it, and you also can't take that fight because they're stronger than you, and they're all right there waiting for a fight. So don't contest objectives that you know have already taken. There's actually a fight in this game where we try to stop them from taking mid lane tower, and it barely works out for us, but we really should have ceded the objective because we were kind of behind, and it just didn't make any sense. The tower was super low. I mean, a minion could have looked at it funny and it would have died. So it didn't make any sense for us to contest that. We did anyways, and it worked out. But those are the kinds of things that you don't want to do. If the tower's gone, let it go. Don't try to fight. If the dragon's gone, let it go. You can't contest that dragon. And know what you can and can't, though. If they're going for Baron and your team doesn't have great wave clear, you have to contest it, because if they take the Baron, they'll probably win the game off the back of it anyways. So you have to be able to figure this out, and it takes time to learn it, but that is something you can consider in the game. Finally, know when you've evened things out. Start looking at item builds, look at levels, and realize when your team is starting to hit their power spikes and when you've evened things back out. If you're behind early but catch up in the mid game, start looking at item builds. If your items are now ahead or even with the enemy team, you can start picking fights, you can start contesting objectives, and you can start looking for kills again. But until that happens, you have to be playing very, very safely and stop the bleeding first. And oftentimes what happens is the enemy team will get overconfident, and that gives you opportunities to come back into the game. I hope you guys found this useful. I'm trying a little bit of a different approach on my video nowadays, so let me know in the comments what you thought. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, and if you enjoy the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I upload a video every Monday and Friday. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will talk to you all later.